Hey, wait, stop. What are you doing? If we're gonna talk about LEGO Star Wars, then we're gonna do it right. Play the other version. Oh yeah, there you go. All right, let's do this. LEGO Star Wars. You may remember the games, you may remember the sets, you may remember stepping on them and filling with regret, but regardless, you can't avoid the fact that this deal between the Danish brick barons and the Sultan of Sci-Fi was one of the most iconic toy deals in history. Awards, boosted sales numbers, iconic designs, so much publicity for both companies involved. For many people, this was their introduction to the iconic franchise. But it didn't stop there. At some point, some guy in the UK probably thought to himself,
"Oh no, my 1-year-old son almost choked to death after swallowing the tiny Darth Vader that came with my LEGO Star Wars Death Star set. If only there was a way to enjoy these little toys without the risk of infant mortality."
And thus, LEGO Star Wars the video game was conceived, becoming an absolute tour de force in the casual gaming market and the crippling addiction of kids and adults alike, including me. Seriously, I bought up literally any version of any LEGO Star Wars game that I could get my hands on back in the day. From the primitive but highly addicting Game Boy version, to the "Where is everybody? I feel so alone" PSP version, to the completely and utterly broken Nintendo DS version. So obviously when LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga was officially announced, I knew I had to do something to celebrate this awesome franchise. Aside from buying the game, of course. And so my animation-loving brain did its thing, and after a while, it hit me. Obscure LEGO Star Wars cartoons! Yeah, bet you didn't know that old SLW had some full-fledged animations under its belt, but it does. Some dating as far back as the original game's release year. It sounds like a match made in heaven, right? I mean, the game's cutscenes already proved that a LEGOized version of Star Wars with a goofy sense of humor can make for some really funny stuff.
Yeah, Qui-Gon died.
And while some of these definitely keep the wacky spirit alive, there are others that are just straight up bizarre. And even a little terrifying. So which are the studs and which are the duds? Well, join me now as I attempt to cover the majority of LEGO Star Wars animated products in a nice condensed format. In the same way that the Skywalker Saga brought the whole gang together for one big hurrah, I'm gonna be doing the same here. And we're gonna start with the standalone shorts that aired only once on TV and then disappeared into the void of bargain bin DVDs and bonus features. So strap in tight and prepare for lightspeed, folks, cause here we go! First up on the chopping block is LEGO Star Wars Revenge of the Brick, a short film directed by Voice Graham, produced by Treehouse Animation, and released on May 8th, 2005, a little over a month after the OG LEGO Star Wars game hit the shelves. It aired only once on Cartoon Network at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let me just say, that is the worst possible time slot for this, because any kid who went to bed after seeing this thing is gonna have freaking nightmares. Look at these character designs. I thought this was a tie-in with LEGO Star Wars, not freaking Alvin Schwartz. It looks like somebody molded these guys out of clay for a last-minute homework assignment. Or maybe they skinned a potato, carved a face into it, and then drew the features on with magic marker? Whatever it is, it definitely doesn't look like LEGO. I mean, it couldn't have been that hard to mimic the original sets with 3D animation, right? I mean, the game did it perfectly during the exact same year. Just look at those little black dot eyes and friendly smiles. They're iconic and adorable. These things are just hideous. Look at Mace Windu, he looks like a freaking handbag. Anyway, creepy faces aside, it's an okay little short film. It retells a few events from Revenge of the Sith, like the Droid Federation control ship battle and the Wookiee army fight on Kashyyyk, all with some silly LEGO touches. Some of the jokes are pretty good, like when Obi-Wan's ship is about to get hit by a missile, but he just nopes it out of the way by splitting his ship into LEGO bricks. And this one gag where Chewie takes a photo of Obi-Wan and Anakin and it comes out as Ben and Darth Vader was pretty good too. It's like a precursor to the meta humor that LEGO Star Wars would adopt later on. But overall, it's pretty below average. Considering this was made post-Toy Story, post-Beast Wars, post-reboot, and heck, even post the original game, there's really nothing awe-inspiring in the visuals department. And like I said, only a few of the jokes really land, so overall, kinda mediocre. But by far the most strange thing about this project is that Mark Hamill, the blue milk mustache messiah himself, was actually involved in the creation of this thing. He even did some commentary in the making of section of the project. In his own words, "As the original Luke Skywalker, I think I know something about making Star Wars movies, so the fit with Treehouse Animation made perfect sense." Mark, dude, you're amazing, but, I mean, just, dude, look at the, no, dude, no. Anyways, if I had to rate this on a scale from 0 to True Jedi, I'd give it like a 30, I guess. It's a bizarre one-time oddity that won't really take up too much of your time, but it's absolutely nothing special nowadays. At best, you'll be slightly amused, and at worst, your hair will turn white and you'll age a few years. So, proceed with caution. Behind door number 2, we have LEGO Star Wars: The Quest for R2-D2. It was directed by Peter Peterson, who is best known for his work on music videos, the most notable of which being... Yep, that's all we needed to hear, thank you, please go away! Jeez, I never would have thought that the same guy who made that also worked on this. I guess the dude just had a thing for plastic. Anyway, this short also aired only once on Cartoon Network on August 29th, 2009. It was based off the then popular Star Wars The Clone Wars series, which aired on the same channel, and was meant to celebrate 10 years of LEGO Star Wars. Man, what a time to be alive. We had hundreds of Star Wars themed LEGO sets, 3 awesome games that brought the concept to life, and to top it all off, we now had an awesome animated short that was... Okay, seriously now, what is with these LEGO shorts and their creepy character designs? Like, forget the Uncanny Valley, this is the Uncanny Mariana Trench. I mean, look at the way Anakin smiles in this shot. Is he trying to flirt with me, or is he gonna suck out my soul through a crazy straw? I don't know which one would be worse. Alright, to be fair, it's not really the creator's fault in this case, since there were actual Clone Wars minifigures with those creepy nightmare eyes. I don't know how these got past the idea phase. I would've just burned the concept art, exorcised the ashes, and then started from scratch, but just like last time, aside from the character designs, the short's actually not too bad. The visuals are definitely better, smoother motions, more detailed effects, and way better action scenes. The humor's a major step up too, with gags like an avalanche road sign in the middle of space, the clones taking out an entire droid army with their sick hockey skills, R2 being forced to vacuum the desert for some reason. Are you sure that's something the Jawas made him do, or is that just some leftover programming from Anakin?
I don't like sand, R2, so the desert must die.
And of course, all this fuss, all this fighting, all this risking their lives was just to acquire some tickets to a Star Wars themed amusement park called Skywalker Land. But wait a second. Isn't Anakin the titular Skywalker of this series? Wouldn't he have had to sign over the rights to his name so they could use it for the park? Wouldn't that pretty much grant him VIP access? And wait a second, C-3PO's Wheel of Fortune? That's Anakin's robot, they need the rights for that too. Leia's cotton candy? She wasn't even alive at this point. And is that R2 and R4 on the Tunnel of Love? Is this some kind of ship I wasn't aware of?
Means I love you.
No, it doesn't.
All in all, this is a big step up from the last LEGO short. And as far as the score goes, I'm going right down the middle and giving this a 50. Glad I watched it once, probably won't watch it again, but overall, not too bad. Also, did you know that this short actually had a whole online Unity game attached to it? Not much to say really, except that you collect crystals instead of studs, which is kinda weird. The battle droids somehow have worse aim than stormtroopers, Anakin waddles around like an old man on his morning power walk, and getting melted by laser fire just makes you dizzy for a few seconds. No big deal. And just walk it off, you big baby. Okay, serious question for you guys. Have you ever wanted to see Jar Jar Binks be a total boss? Well, that's exactly what you can expect from number 3 on our list, Bombad Bounty. Once again, we have Peter Peterson in the director's chair, with this short being released on November 4th, 2010. And this is easily the best one so far. Like, this could actually pass as being part of an official LEGO Star Wars game. The basic plot is that Jar Jar Binks is now a dim-witted but well-meaning janitor who works for... Boss Nass Cleaning Services. The funny thing is that Jar Jar was confirmed to be a traveling clown who was ostracized by his people after the original trilogy, so this is kind of a step up for him. Anyway, Jar Jar is cleaning the Republic ship during the opening scene of A New Hope, and somehow through wacky shenanigans, he finds himself smack dab in the middle of many of the original trilogy's key events. all while avoiding the bounty-hungry clutches of Boba Fett, who's trying to capture him for Vader. So, remember when I said that JJ was kind of a boss in this short? Well, let's see what he accomplishes. Not only does he avoid the omnipresent clutches of old Boba Tea, blow up the Death Star single-handedly, and get to rock out on his own sweet Millennium Falcon guitar on a custom band shell of his own head that he built, but he manages to put Vader in a cast just by mopping the floor. Yeah, the second most powerful Sith in the galaxy, incapacitated by this guy. Stay tuned for the sequel where he puts the Emperor in an iron lung just by changing the light bulbs. In addition to an awesome plot, the animation is more bouncy, more expressive, and way less terrifying. I mean, they finally got the black dot eyes right for once, thank God. And Jar Jar, despite having a head that looks like a dead fish, is very expressive and even kind of adorable. And if the plot didn't give it away, it should come as no surprise that the humor is top-notch as well. Not just with over-the-top antics, but also with subtle little details. Heck, Darth Vader in the hospital is worth the price of admission alone. Complete with him watching Indiana Jones on the TV, all the amazing signatures on his leg cast, that adorable Death Star get well soon card. Heck, there's even a moment where he says in his deep menacing voice, "Get me a ginger ale." Oh my gosh, I freaking love this short. Personally, I was never one to jump on the Jar Jar is the worst thing ever train, and I always kind of wish that the character could have had that one definitive shining moment that everyone could agree was awesome. And while Bombad Bounty isn't much, it's easily the funniest and most awesome he's ever been. So I actually highly recommend it. This one's getting a solid 70 from me. Very rewatchable, very charming, and even kind of redeems one of the most hated characters in the franchise. That's definitely gotta net it some extra points. Also, it's interesting to note that the company who made these last two shorts, M2 Film, would later go on to make more LEGO animations, like official commercials for LEGO Ninjago and LEGO Chima. I'm really glad these guys got hired for more projects, because they're really good at what they do. And now we transition from a short where Jar Jar actually gets a lot of respect, to a short where he has 5 seconds of total screen time and then gets blown to pieces.
It's ahead!
No respect. I don't get no respect at all.
It's LEGO Star Wars The Padawan Menace, our first transition from short 5-minute animations to full-fledged 30-minute long adventures. And trust me, things are only gonna get longer from here. It was written by Michael Price, who you may recognize from shows like Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, and most notably, The Simpsons. Heck, his most recent writing job was the episode Meat is Murder from this year. So yeah, it's obvious that this guy knows his satire, so it looks like we're in good hands. This was yet another LEGO Star Wars cartoon that aired only once on Cartoon Network on July 22nd, 2011. But unlike its deformed brothers and sisters, this one actually got its own DVD release. Yep, not relegated to bonus features or anything, but a full-on release, complete with a minifigure of the little main character himself, Ian. Who the heck is Ian? Well, let me explain it to you. Or better yet, let's let Tom Kane explain it to you.
It is a time of great upheaval as the Clone Wars rage across the galaxy. On this day, the biggest challenge to the Republic and its newest heroes will come in the most unlikely of forms.
Yup, Tom Kane is in this thing. Not just as the narrator, but as the forceful green midget himself, Yoda. Some of you may not know who this guy is, so let me clue you. Aside from the original movie and Rebels, where Yoda was voiced by Frank Oz, literally every other appearance where Yoda had a speaking role was done by Tom. Every single one. Even to this day, he is still at it as Yoda in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This guy is a freaking legend. Pad out my resume, I must.
Also, he was the Professor Utonium in the Powerpuff Girls and Mr. Harriman in the Foster's Home. Just kind of wanted to throw that in there because I like those shows. Okay, bye.
Anyway, as Tom so eloquently explained, the film takes place during the Clone Wars era, where clones and Jedis were buddy-buddy, Jedi Padawans haven't done the dying thing yet, and the only things you had to watch out for were these blaster-wielding bundles of beige blocks. Oh, and the Sith as well. Those are kind of dangerous. And this story centers around the gold-plated butt monkey C-3PO, and can I be paired with literally anybody else, please? R2-D2, who look after this class of Jedi Padawans after Yoda puts them in their care. Meanwhile, Yoda himself has to go on a secret mission to uncover some secret battle plans from a lone battle droid alongside Commander Cody and newcomer Ian. This is the first LEGO Star Wars short to have full voice acting and a proper story, and overall, it was really cute. Seeing 3PO trying to babysit a bunch of little squirts with god powers is obviously hilarious, and it can even be kind of touching at times. Like in the final few minutes when 3PO feels guilty for bringing the kids into this mess, the kids reassure him by saying that no matter what happened, at the end of the day, he still kept them safe. They even use a Jedi mind trick to inspire some confidence in him, which was really sweet. And to those of you that think you are true Star Wars fans, you have not seen anything until you've witnessed C-3PO packing heat. I mean, look at this. I got your human-cyborg relations right here, baby! Also, if you thought that angry quote from R2 was just a joke, it's actually kinda not. I mean, when he is handed a blunt weapon and told to take on 3PO in a fight to the death, he does it with freaking bells on. Like he is out for oil at this point. This is one of the few times in Star Wars where I would have really appreciated some subtitles.
You've just been waiting for the chance to do this, haven't you? Arthur, don't you dare! Ow!
Yoda and Ian's plot is pretty fun too. Some good action with Yoda's Jedi powers and some cute kind of father-son moments between the two. Not to mention that Ian is like a Swiss Army knife of abilities with everything from blaster wielding to ship piloting to droid reconstruction. So you never really know what he's gonna pull out. The only thing that got really annoying was the way they parodied Yoda speak. Every line out of Yoda's mouth does the whole thing where the subject and the verb are put at the back of the sentence. You know, like, do this you must, or very headstrong you are. Every single line. There are a few times when it's actually kind of funny, like when he calls C-3PO 3POC, or instead of saying, uh-oh, he says, oh, ah! Also, this is probably the only time you'll ever hear Yoda say peace out.
Peace out.
So that's gotta count for something. Also, what the heck is this line from Commander Cody?
I'm all over it like green on beans.
I'll be there like green on beans. What? But luckily, those are the only two gags that really annoyed me, since the rest of the humor was on point. You've got some usual cartoony jokes, like Yoda trying to send a message to the Jedi Council, but then Ian grabs a remote and starts changing the channel. Some amazing background gags, like window washing. The usual Lego-based gags, like Commander Cody being fatally shot, but then Yoda just builds him up again and he's like, I'm fine. And tons of meta humor. And good meta humor too. Like not just them saying, oh look, we're in a cartoon or whatever, they're actually clever about it. Like C-3PO flipping through an actual Lego instruction manual when he's trying to fix a ship, the two of them watching a clip from New Hope before they go into the cantina, and my favorite by far, Jabba's subtitles actually being part of the real world. Like they don't draw attention to it, just there they are, then the camera changes, and they're still there. Perfect.
Also, there's a super shocking twist when it comes to Ian's identity. It's like insanely surprising. You'll never guess it in a million years.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Like a trillion years, you'll never figure it out. You'll probably guess it when freaking pigs fly.
Oh. Didn't see that coming.
They fly now?
Originally, I was gonna give this a true Jedi, but there are a few things holding it back from perfection, so I'll play it safe and give it a 95. It's a definite recommendation from me, though, and it's apparently watchable on Netflix and Amazon, so go check it out if you haven't already. The Empire Strikes Out, another 30-minute adventure brought to you from the mind of Michael Price, and once again only aired on Cartoon Network Uno Taimo on September 26, 2012. Luckily though, this one also got a DVD release about a month later, so they didn't just up and bury it like a lot of people might think. Also, fun fact for you, this was actually one of the last Lucasfilm productions ever made before the acquisition by Disney, premiering just 1 month before the takeover. So was it a decent note for the company to go out on? Well, for one thing, they upgraded the voice cast significantly. I mean, Padawan Menace did have OG Yoda and OG Ventress from Clone Wars, as well as OG C-3PO, but this special also added Brian Blessed, the original Boss Nass, Julian Glover, the original General Veers, Sam Witwer, who was Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, and, I'm not making this up, Matthew Sloan, the creator of Chad Vader Day Shift Manager, as the voice of Darth Vader. Yeah, remember that old YouTube series where Vader's loser brother worked at a convenience store? He was actually hired to do some voice work on official products, like Soul Calibur 4, The Force Unleashed 1 and 2, both EA Battlefront games, and Disney Infinity 3.0. Wow. Going from filming videos on your grandma's candy flip phone to voice acting for official big budget projects. That's the YouTube dream right there. So anyway, if you couldn't tell already, this short takes place during The Empire Strikes Back. The first Death Star has already gone kaboom! And the rebels are making plans to launch a full-out assault on the Empire while old Sheev gets to work on building Death Planet Pew Pew Part 2. But I gotta be honest here, despite the more full voice cast and the fact that it was released later on, I don't think this is as good as Padawan Menace. For one thing, the comedy is kinda weak. There are a few running gags that were either really annoying or just kinda like the whole group of fangirls following Luke and then Vader and then Maul around. I don't know, I just thought that went on for way too long. Same thing with the I am your father gag. Neither of them really did much for me. And speaking of fathers, there's also this whole dynamic of Palpatine treating Vader and Maul like they're his two sons. The two of them get into fights over who he likes better, like a pair of bickering brothers, and it's okay. Kind of an obvious joke, but I guess it works for what it is. Luke dressing up as Vader and everyone falling for it. I feel like they could have done a little more with that idea. Like, this could have been way funnier than it was. The Han shot first gag, not that funny. A character using a Lego instruction manual to build something, we kinda saw that already last time. And really, another everybody hates Jar Jar gag. Like, I know he's reviled in the Star Wars community, but come on, enough already. I don't know, I'm probably being really mean to this special, when in reality, it's really not that bad. And hey, there are some really great standout scenes here. Like C-3PO just straight up tripping an AT-AT and making it fall over. What is with these LEGO Star Wars specials and making 3PO so awesome? Chewie doing a crossword puzzle where the answers are things like roar and roar was hilarious. Maul turning the Death Star into his own head and then Sheev's reaction was just beautiful. The Boss Nass gag with the gallons of saliva was one of the few running gags that really made me laugh. And the moment where 3PO pulls out a picture of Hayden Christensen just to get the fangirls off of Luke's back and onto Vader's was freaking genius. Heck, that's probably the funniest gag out of all of these shorts. As a whole though, I don't really find this as memorable as Padawan Menace, as you could probably tell by how little I had to say about it. But overall, it's still good. Animation's about the same, voice acting is great just like last time, some jokes really worked while some didn't, the plot's not super memorable, but it's fine I guess. Overall, I'll give The Empire Strikes Out a solid 75. I wouldn't exactly dash at the opportunity to watch it again, but I'm definitely glad I saw it once. And there you go! Those are all the single-release shorts from the LEGO Star Wars franchise. It's pretty cool to see SLW go from 5-minute promotional material to full-fledged 30-minute stories. Obviously, there's still a whole galaxy of LEGO Star Wars cartoons out there, from miniseries to holiday specials to a full-on 2-season TV show. And if you guys want to see me do the rest, feel free to leave a comment and a like, and maybe I'll get to it once May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th comes around. Or maybe you'll tell me you absolutely hate this and I won't make any new parts at all. Either way though, thanks a bunch for watching everybody, and I hope to see you all real soon.